This is going to be a controversial hand. I already know. I've looked it up that I was wrong. Especially in a PKO, I'm not really sure what was going on in my head at this point. I had looked at sims, but deeper stacked sims where you can actually start to fold in these kinds of spots. But from a leveling perspective, I would just honestly, like truthfully, in a PKO, what you do here, I think is just raise. I don't know what I was thinking. Like, I think you just raise. Like you have great equity versus draws. I just made a mistake here. You can raise or call. Like call is going to be fine too. But I think in the if I could replay this hand, I would just YOLO it in. No, you want to raise with the flush draws on the flop because you have higher equity versus their flush draws that get it in. And you actually hate having the club as a bluff catcher on later streets. There are straights available, but 5-8, 3-5. I mean, they may have them both, but yeah, but it's a PKO. I think I can raise. I called. This hand was a blunder on my end, I believe, especially because it's a PKO. I was going through this hand and I was like, what? What did you do? You did what, John? I call. Apestyles took a different line. Oh. Yeah, you can raise and get it in on the flop. It's not even close. Like, over pairs, it's just pretty hard to for them to have both have a hand that has you crushed and for them to have chosen to lead it, you know. But like on my end, it felt strong. Like it felt like they were trying to induce me because I've been playing super loose at this table. I have everyone covered. They have a huge bounty on it. I mean, they got a bounty and they have less than starting stack. So to me, it felt like I might just be like calling and getting barreled off like a ton, and that the villain's range might be very, very, very strong here. That was what I was thinking. I kind of got in my head thinking that like they would have to be strong to be playing so aggressively, and that having a club in hand is like kind of blocking the only like my only hope is that they have a flush draw really at this point, or they're doing something like, you know, turning a like king 6 or something into a bluff. But yeah, this is I don't think it's as I think it's pretty close, but 1 second. I'm just gonna what? Jack of clubs. Here we go. Just gonna upload here. And it's gonna tell me, oof, oof. Bad fold, bad fold. If you can like not fold versus the computer in a non-PKO, I feel like it just can't be a fold, right? And the flop is a preferred raise. What does their range look like on the turn? Is this a thing? Oh yeah, they just got all kinds of stuff like this, right? But see, I don't know if they would just be going ham like this though. And I also don't think an 8 would bet big. This is interesting. Oh, sick. It's using its sixes as bluffs. I love it. Yeah, it just besides 5x, we just like crush everything. Now, I got a question. Do you think we fold at any frequency above 60? Because I remember in my head, I think I was like, I'd seen solves where we fold something like this. I also just kind of thought like, hey, from the cutoff, like I have some board coverage here that can call. Like I have a decent amount. Like I have some like offsuit eights, like I have king eight, ace eight. I've got the whole section of suited eights, whole section of suited sevens and sixes. So I figured that I would just be calling pairs on the board a bit more. But I think your thought process is actually pretty spot on. We are very high in our range, right? So it's just a call in like that world. I folded, but my next question, one time, John, please, is it at least a fold like, okay, 7, 6 of clubs, 4 diamonds, 8 of spades. Yeah, like 60 effective. First of all, notice protection is important, but raising becomes much, much less of a thing as we get deeper. And then 60 effective. The club becomes a liability, I think. Yeah, the club's worse, which is a nice reason, kind of a nice reason to be raising the club on the flop, right? It's what I thought. It's what I thought, like in game, and it feels a little bit of a validation here to see that, like, yeah, when you're deeper and you just think that you can be put in a casket here, uh, that you actually can fold. There's just this big old problem here, right? Right here is the problem. That's a lot of difference, right? Yeah. So I don't actually like hate my fold just because of the principle. I think it really is a bad spot, a bad run out for me. But it's not a fold. And I'm glad to see that most people called because it's not a fold. I mean, on 7-6 deuce, we still raise flop a lot. I mean, on this on 7-6-4, but yeah, I'll take a look there because like you're kind of curious to see if we have um a preference on the flop towards raising versus a lead if it's 7-6 deuce. I'm gonna say yes. Oh baby, yeah, it's actually like super clear. Yeah, 7-6 deuce, you're like, well, let's do this. Yeah. Also, the clubs become the clubs are always better to raise with. They just are, but they're kind of more neutral.